Hello, everyone. Normally when I'm doing a speech, I sort of write it out. I've come here today, I haven't done any preparation. I should say, actually, I'm a director, I'm not a producer, so I stand here as an artist. I'm not anything to do with the funding of my film. So I shall tell you a little bit about myself. I've been making films since I was 11 years old. I've just moved here from 25 years living in London. When I left London, my second feature film was playing at the Empire Leicester Square, and I arrived here thinking, well, I'm kind of happy about that. Although I'd had enough of London, so arriving in Suffolk to living near Rendlesham Forest, I was faced with having to think about what could be my next film, or should I give up and think, well, I'm happy that my film's on at the Empire. So I wanted to make a film about treasure hunters, and I always wanted to make a science fiction, and I then suddenly realised about the Rendlesham Forest incident. I didn't know anything about it, despite coming from London to Suffolk for 10 years. I'd never heard anything about it, but within the first week of being here, I heard about the Rendlesham Forest incident, and I tied my two ideas together, science fiction with treasure hunting. I pitched this idea to a film company in London over the telephone, Dan Films. They'd made Severance and Creep and Triangle. They're quite successful horror films that had theatrical releases. So there was a short pause. I told them about this idea I had, and Rendlesham Forest, and there was a pause, and they said, that's exactly what we're looking for. So incredibly, within a week, they were coming to me, these producers, and my film went into production. And like all the films I've ever made, it took about 1,000 days to do. Every film I've ever made has taken around 3 years more. That's normal. And I've literally just finished Hangar 10. Literally just finished it 3 weeks ago. It's in the hands of a sales agent called Altitude Film Entertainment, and they took it to the American film market earlier this month. This is a poster you're seeing here, which was not the poster for the finished film. No one actually knows anything about this film. It's only just gone onto IMDb. The trailer that we can show was made to sell the film for pre-sales at the American film market. So was this poster, which is just a mock-up poster. So I think maybe what we might do now is run this trailer, which was designed and made specifically to sell the film at the AFM market. It was made specifically for pre-sales. It isn't a trailer that would be used to promote the film. So actually, you're the very first people to see what has been 3.5 years' work. Yeah, so sound is always a very big part of a film. We're not obviously doing Dolby 5.1 surround today? No. Okay, so luckily I was aware of that from the last trailer. Otherwise I might have been in shock. So that was the trailer. It's been a fantastic experience making this film here in Suffolk. I mean, I'm normally, quite often, I'm inspired by locations rather than characters. I can, look at a location and build my story from there. So when I arrived here in Suffolk, when I Googled the Rendlesham Forest incident, and then I went to look around the bases, it was a rainy, cloudy day. I went up there on my bicycle. And I Google Earthed it, and I thought, my God, look at this place, it's absolutely incredible. And this wasn't Bentwaters, this is the Woodbridge base. I found the fence, and I cycled around the fence, and I honestly thought I was going to see an alien or be arrested. it was just great. And even if I hadn't known about the Rendlesham Forest incident, I would have come up with a story just based on the atmosphere of that location. You know, and we did end up shooting a lot at Bentwaters. So it was a 6-week shoot over 2 years. It's taken 3 years, as I said. 2 years went by, and it was a wonderful experience because we filmed, you know, as you see, it's a found footage film. The budget altogether, it has to make back £600,000. That's how much it cost. But to be paid to be in that pine forest, for me, it's been the best time of my life. It's fantastic. I'd much rather be there than in Hollywood. I've been invited to Hollywood 3 times, and each time I've come back, penniless, I have to say. So, anyway, so what could I say more? That, you know, that you make a film, you struggle with it. And in this case, we filmed, we went back and edited. We kept on doing it that way, and it was not the normal way to make a film. Nothing like Guy's film. So, you know, 2 extremes here of this kind of filmmaking and Guy's film. And you know, I'd be happy to take any questions from this point on.
Yeah, I think if we have Guy also join, and then if any people have got any questions specifically about you know, Guy's and Daniel's experience of filming within Suffolk or any of the production processes.